Absolutely heartbreaking, man. So close, but so far at the same time as well, man. Devastated with how it ended. Absolutely devastated. Second trophy was that close, and now we got to do it all over again to try and get there. But we got to start with the positives as well because for what was 85 minutes, outstanding from Tottenham. Honestly, obviously, yes, I know I came on yesterday predicting a win, but as I said in the video, that was all more out of heart and hope rather than knowledge. Because let's be honest, coming against the best team in Europe, the best team in the world, the worst could have happened. Especially with the way we performed against Bayern Munich last week. Honestly, the worst could have happened. But Thomas Frank came up with a game plan. Contrary to what I thought he was going to play with a 4-2-3-1. He went with a three at the back: Danso, Romero, Van der Ven, outstanding. Obviously, the wing backs, Spence and Pedro Porro. We had a three in midfield of Papsar. Papsar was a little bit more advanced. Obviously, Paulinho and Bentancur, and then a front two of Richarlison and Kudus. And the game plan worked to a T. We were physical. We matched them. They had a lot of the ball, but we limited them. Vicario didn't make many saves in the first half at all. I don't think they had one shot on target. So the fact that they had most of the ball and we couldn't even they couldn't do anything with it, just shows how well the game plan was working. We matched them, if not beat them physically. Set pieces, we were outstanding. Obviously, both goals came from set pieces. We really made we really showed the height advantage that we had in that team as well. And as I said, we limited them to very little until maybe the last 30 minutes. But honestly, it's just a devastating one because normally I'm used to Spurs not turning up in games like this, or obviously in Bilbao, let's be honest, it was an awful game against an awful opposition. But obviously we still got the job done. But yesterday we actually played well as well. That's the thing that kills you the most. We played well. We scored two goals against the best team in Europe. But the thing that really killed us, I've seen a lot of people actually killing Thomas Frank for the substitutes. But let's be honest, we've got a game on Saturday as well. It's still early on in the season. If he doesn't make the changes and players get injured, it sets us back even worse. So I have no blame for him for bringing on the substitutes because you want fresh legs for the game plan we were trying to implement. There's no point in having tired players out there as well. Obviously, yes, Paulinho and Kudus were both outstanding during the game, but obviously Kudus, maybe they want to manage him to make sure he's not injured because let's be honest, if Kudus gets injured, then we are really in trouble. And Paulinho, he's only played 45 minutes for us. Don't forget he was at the Club World Cup as well, so I understand it from Thomas Frank as well. Yes, I know the substitutes didn't come on and do well, but you can't really blame Thomas Frank for that because he was just trying to keep it fresh in order to keep the intensity up. But I think the failings of it is the fact that the board have not strengthened the team fully. Obviously, yes, I said Kudus and Paulinho were the great, but if you just compare the difference between our bench, we're bringing on players like, yeah, Dom Solanke's all right. We're bringing on players like Archie Gray, Matthias Tell, Lucas Bergvall, young players, and these guys can call on the likes of Fabian Ruiz, Goncalo Ramos, Lee Kang Ing, and the last two that I mentioned obviously played a pivotal role in that, in getting the two goals that took them to extra time, and they both scored on penalties as well. So there's so much good to take from it because, as I said, we're not used to adaptability. Obviously, last 2 seasons coming off Ange, yeah, he didn't adapt at all. So the fact that we saw a different shape, obviously a different game plan from everything that we've seen in preseason, just shows the flexibility that Thomas Frank has and what he's going to bring to Tottenham. And the fact that we can go toe to toe with a team like PSG is outstanding. Yes, I know people want to add in the caveat, oh, they've only been back a week, but let's be honest. Professional footballers keep fit during their holidays anyway. And as I said in yesterday's video, when their system's so ingrained into them anyway, they're just fitting back into like a glove. Obviously, it's not a new system they're coming into. They're just doing the same thing that they've done for the past 2 years. So honestly, it's a bitter one. It's a bitter pill to swallow because, as I say, 85 minutes, 2-0 up, and then ended up going 2-2. Then when it gets to penalties, it's all luck, really. Um, just a quick one on the penalties. I don't know how much. Obviously, I know Thomas Frank is very diligent, and I know he covers all the details. But I don't know how much prep would have went into the penalties because just looking on the goalkeeper side, Vicario, I think he only dived the correct way for one penalty. So whether they haven't really done their research on where the players take, obviously you see the infamous water bottles and stuff now. Um, Obviously he didn't have a water bottle, but maybe he just felt confident enough that he didn't really need that. But I think he only dived the right way, and that was on the Nuno Mendes penalty, the final one to obviously seal it. And yeah, he wasn't getting anywhere near that because that was absolutely binned. And then obviously, in terms of our part, Mickey Van der Ven, when he stepped up, I'm not expecting a centre half to put it in the net, to be honest with you. So when Mickey Van der Ven stepped up, I was already a bit nervous. Matthias Tell, I was actually expecting to put his penalty away, but that's what happens. Obviously, it's pressure. He's a 20-year-old lad, so I have no doubt he's going to come back to it. Obviously, seeing that he's been racially abused as well, which is an absolute joke because I don't know. You can't. I don't understand. How can you be racist when you support Spurs? Like we've got one of our greatest club legends, Ledley King, is a black player. We've got many black players in the squad. It's just a cop out, really. And I don't really think the guys that do it can be fans because if you've ever stepped foot in a place like Tottenham, the furthest thing you can be is racist because the amount of culture that goes on in that area is just vast. You got Turkish, black people, Somali, you got everything. I'm not gonna name every single culture that's in Tottenham, but to be racist and a Spurs fan, you're an absolute fool. And the fact that you're gonna racially abuse a 20-year-old is just a joke in yourself as well. But obviously that's not the only negative because obviously we lost the game, but it's hard because it's hard to be positive when obviously we didn't get the result that we wanted, but there was so much good in that game that we could take throughout the season. This Thomas Frank's first competitive game as well, so it's a start. It shows that at least we can compete with the better teams, and it gives me a bit more confidence going into Europe as well. I was always nervous that Thomas Frank's got no European experience and it could cost him, but his adaptability shows that he can set up a game plan for any team. And obviously fitness, I know they're so good on the analysis as well, so I have no doubt they're going to be sitting back at Hotspur Way, whether that be today or tomorrow. They'll look over the mistakes they made, the things that they can improve, and that's all we can do, really. And hopefully we have another chance to come in a Super Cup one day, but we'll see. It's a tough ask, but positives for the season ahead. Obviously, we got Burnley at the weekend. Let's just hope that the negative performance, there's a positive because obviously, let's be honest, they're not going to be celebrating anywhere, so maybe they're going to be a bit sharper for Burnley. But let's just hope the disappointment doesn't seep into Saturday and we can get the job done. But we'll talk about the Burnley game in another video. But guys, please make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit like. Let me know in the comments what you think about the video, and we'll be back. Peace and love.